Welcome to me yapping about knitting for perhaps an hour or so. My name is Taryn. I haven't filmed an episode for like a month because I moved back home to Colorado, and that has been taking up all of my mental capacity for the last month. But it's okay. It's been good. I guess it's just, you move back home with your parents and you were used to living by yourself. Not by yourself, with roommates, on your own, whatever. So that's how it's been going. Sorry I haven't uploaded, but also I don't think that I'm really the type to upload like every week or 2 weeks or anything like that anyways, because I really don't make a lot of projects. I know like for other people it's easier because they have like multiple projects going on at one time and they can talk about each one, on each next episode. But I'm a monogamous knitter. I know some people don't like that term, but I don't know how else to say, I only work on one project at a time. So yeah, I just don't have a lot of content to speak about anyways, unless I do one episode like every month. But I have more ideas for more videos, which I'll probably do because I'm bored. I need to like start doing more stuff. But anyways, thank you everyone for watching my last episode, whoever did, because that actually got like, I haven't checked it in a while, but it got like 500 views last time I checked it, which for me is a lot. Especially like for just talking about knitting. I think that that's good. And I also had a lot of comments that were like, encouraging and nice and sweet. So thank you everyone who watched that and liked it. I don't know how the editing on this video is going to be because I no longer have access to the computer that I was using, in Arkansas, because I moved. So I'll probably edit this on my phone, but it's so annoying to edit videos on your phone because everything's tiny. So I'll see how well that goes, but if it doesn't go well, sorry. I'm drinking my matcha right now. I've had 1 cup of coffee in the past 3 months, because coffee kind of makes me too jittery. At least the stuff that I was drinking. I don't know what was different about it, but I decided that I needed to change it up to something that wasn't going to make me feel like I was dying every time I went to work. So I really like drinking matcha. I drink it cold in the mornings. My mornings, because I still wake up at like 2 in the afternoon. But yeah, I drink it cold. And I think that that's actually nice for me because whenever I have a hot drink in the morning, like sorry if this is gross, but like my sinuses start to like flush. And so for like the entire morning, I'm just like, but anyways, grab yourself a cozy drink and listen to me talk about knitting for the foreseeable future. It's not mixed on the bottom. I'm still not good at that. There's like a whole little kit that you can buy for like the whisk and everything and, whisking it up. I don't have that. I just use a fork. So anyways, let's talk about knitting and yarn. So first of all, let's talk about what I'm wearing. This is my finished object. This is the, I don't know how to pronounce it, Clotilde sweater, Clotilde. I don't know. I think it's a Norwegian brand by Knitting for Olive. So I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. Someone let me know in the comments. But anyways, it's this nice all over lace pattern. Let me see. Can you see? Oh yeah, with my jeans. Very cute. Very cute. It has this diamond pattern all over. It's knit with, I knit it with Drops Air held double on 10mm needles. I think originally it calls for like 4 strands of some kind of, fingering weight yarn from Knitting for Olive held, all at the same time. But I love knitting with Drops Air held double. I've already knit 1 sweater before, the sorbet sweater in Drops Air held double. It's just a great experience. It's like, usually when you're knitting with yarn held double, like, you'll go to wrap your needle and one of them will kind of like hang off and the other one gets wrapped around. So you have to kind of like, get the other one around there. But Drops Air, like, it's so fluffy that they hold on to each other while you're knitting. So you rarely have like an instance where, one wraps around the needle and the other one doesn't. And when it's knit up, you can't like tell that it's knit with 2 strands of yarn held double. It just looks like 1 strand of yarn, which I really enjoy. If there's any sweater that's like knit in a bulky gauge, I would rather knit it with Drops Air held double because it's just such a good yarn choice for bulky knits because, you know, especially those like roving yarns that have barely any twist to them, they felt so much after a while. These ones have that like chain net blown construction, so it's like alpaca fibers blown into this little netting. So it's really sturdy and it'll hold up for a while. But anyways, good pattern. I followed it exactly to a T. I didn't make any modifications. The only problem I had with it was doing the raglan increases. By the way, it's a raglan sweater construction. I wasn't reading like usual, and I skipped the part where it said for size medium, you know, only work up until this row. So I worked the entire raglan chart and then realized that I had, you know, essentially knit for like a size XL or XXL or something. And I had to rip back my work. But that was fixed in like a day. But it's a really quick knit. It took me like a month to make it because I was moving and I was stressed out and hanging out with friends and all sorts of stuff. So that's fine. You know, if it takes you a long time to make something, oh well. But yeah, it's a quick knit because it's on such a big gauge. I'm assuming if anybody else knit it, they would get it done pretty quickly. But it's so cute. I love it. I made it in this like, I think it's called strawberry sorbet, strawberry ice cream or something, the colorway name. And it kind of, you can't see on camera, I don't think. Also, sorry, my lighting's weird. I know it's not perfect, but anyways, the color has like little flecks of orange throughout it in some spots. So it looks like a strawberry sorbet with like the little chunks of strawberry in it. I think it's cute. I like it. But yeah, it's definitely like a Barbie pink. And I love the collar, how it like wraps around. I thought it was going to look like a little too granny-ish, but it's not. I think it's actually really, really cute. And it's super soft and super warm. Like I'll wear this in my room at night with the window cracked open, you know, because it's getting colder here in Colorado in the fall. And it's still like a little bit too warm, which is surprising because it has all of these eyelets throughout. So when you're moving, you can feel like the air go through it. But if you're just sitting still for a while, it actually gets pretty warm. So that's a good thing if you want, you know, an outer layer to wear where you're not going to burn up, but you know, you can still have the air come through it. So yeah, it's super cute. I love it. Good pattern, good pattern. That's the first pattern I've made by Knitting for Olive. Why did the lighting just change? I feel like the lighting just changed. Maybe it didn't. Anyways, first pattern. Did it? I don't know. That's the first pattern that I've made by Knitting for Olive, and I've been eyeing it for a super long time. It's been in my queue for like ever. So I finally made it. But yeah, very good. They also have a Clotilde pullover. So instead of being a cardigan, it would be a pullover. Anyways, cute. Love that. I don't know if I left out any details about it, but we'll move on to the next thing. So the next thing is actually a skein of yarn that I spun because I do that as well. So I started, oh, I forgot to look up who the fiber is from. I'll put it on screen. I'm going to have to edit this video, whether it's good or not. But I bought this fiber from someone on Instagram. I saw it on there and it was just like exactly the colors that I like. I love spinning fiber that's like neon colors and just bright and fun. Like I can't sit down and spin one color of fiber for too long. It gets boring to me. So this is it. This is my baby yarn. Ooh, the lighting is kind of weird. I don't like it. Maybe if I, hold on, I'm just going to change the lighting midway through the video. Okay. Is that better? I don't know. Anyways, this is the yarn that I spun. It is 2 of the braids of fiber from this person. Sorry, I forgot to look that up before I started recording. But I spun quite a bit of it, and there's all sorts of colors throughout it. Here, let me twist it inside out. So there's a lot of green and purple and blue. But the problem is, okay, so I started spinning one braid of the fiber in Arkansas, but all I had in Arkansas was my drop spindle. So I spun, I don't know, like a third of one of the braids on my spindle. And then I got back home where I have my spinning wheel, and I was, like, I'm going to use my spinning wheel because it takes way too long to spin on drop spindle. Drop spindle is a nice process. I do like it, and it's good for, like, obviously, like, portability and everything. But it can take so long to spin. Just the tiniest little amount of fiber compared to a spinning wheel where it just eats it up, basically. So I spun a little bit of it on a drop spindle, and then I spun the rest of that braid on my spinning wheel, and then I spun the entirety of the other braid on my spinning wheel. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I can just take the amount that's on my drop spindle and I can, attach it to my bobbin and ply it together at the end so that I'm not like, wasting anything. And I thought it was going to be, like roughly the same, what's it called? Like I thought my plies were the same width and everything, but it turns out it was not. Or if they were, I think that maybe my ply stayed on my drop spindle for so long that it kind of relaxed and it got the, like the twist out of it more, because this is a pretty uneven yarn. I don't know if you can tell, but like right here, there's these strands of yarn where they're like a little more like loosely plied. And then like right here, there's like a bigger kind of piece. Where else? Yeah, basically the portion that was, spun on my drop spindle, you can see it all here at the end. It's all a little bit looser spun. Almost to the point like right here. This is like barely even spun together. And I obviously, like I plied it together. I know what I'm doing, but I think my execution was bad in terms of thinking that the drop spindle ply would be fine. So anyways, my plan with this is not set in stone yet, because since it is so uneven, I guess it's not terrible. I mean, there are definitely some parts that are, thicker than others, but I was thinking about making a pressed flowers cardigan by, what's the designer's name? I'm sorry, I can't remember the designer's name. I'll put it on the screen. I know what else she makes, but I can't. She made the Felix pullover, right? She designed that. I can't remember her name though. Savory Knits? I can't remember. Anyways, my plan was to make a pressed flowers cardigan with this. But one, I don't know how well to go with the unevenness of this yarn, and two, I need to do a gauge swatch because I was thinking about knitting it with drops tweed, because it's the same kind of construction as this yarn, where this is just like a 2-ply, so is drops tweed. And obviously I would have to find something that matches the gauge of this, but also whatever yarn I use would have to be able to basically be a good balance with this yarn, because since there are thick and thin spots, let's say that like some of this measures out to a DK and some of this measures out to like a worsted when you do like the wraps per inch. I would have to get something that's either, one of those two, obviously, to make everything balanced. So whatever I end up making with this, I think will be cute because there's just so many colors and everything in it. But I thought it would be perfect for the pressed flowers cardigan because you can really see like those changes of color, and you can see, like it pops through the cardigan. It's not like it's, kind of hidden or whatever. Maybe a Ghost Horses pullover by, what is her name? Caitlin Hunter. I think that sweater is really pretty. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to work for this, but I really want to use it at some point. I have all sorts of other hand spun yarn too in my storage that's been here at home for a while. So maybe I could pair it with this, but yep. Oh, I forgot to say that it's, I believe it's merino and a nylon blend, which is even better to spin with, in my opinion, because I think nylon tends to hang on to the like neon dyes a little bit better, at least in my experience of dyeing. I've also I've also dyed yarn before, so in my experience, dyeing nylon was always like more vibrant. But yeah, I think that it's like a better fiber. It's just, I don't know, there's something so nice about it. That's my yarn baby. Don't know what she's gonna be yet, but that's her. Okay, on to my one work in progress because I only knit one thing at a time. And I just realized that I don't have the thing I was going to compare it to. Hold on. Anyways, this is the work in progress that I have right now. This is basically, so I showed on my last video, this cardigan, which is called the Endless Summer Cardigan by Pickles Knits, which I incorrectly said was knit with Drops Nepal. It's with Drops Alaska. Huge difference, just kidding. They're pretty similar yarns, but I think one has alpaca and the other is 100% wool, which is this one. So this is like my favorite cardigan ever that I've knit. I wear this all the time in the house and out and everything. I love it. It's perfect. So I knew I had this sweater quantity of yarn in this gray color, and I bought another sweater quantity of Drops Alaska in this green color. So I've had this sitting in my stash for like a year, and I knew that at some point I wanted to make, you know, like a cardigan with it. But sorry, there's like a piece of fluff wrapped around the yarn. I knew I wanted to make a cardigan with it, but I wanted to design my own cardigan with it, and I just wasn't sure, you know, exactly what I wanted to do with it yet. I wasn't sure what stitch pattern I wanted, and I wasn't sure, you know, how I wanted it to look and everything. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, I already have a cardigan knit with Drops Alaska, and I love it so much. Like, I love wearing the sweater. I love the fit of it so much. So I was like, you know what if I just make that sweater again, or cardigan again? But obviously not exactly the same. Like, I want to do something different with it. So what I'm doing, and it's all twisted up right now, so you can't really see it. I'm knitting the same pattern, but this time I made my own lace motif, which is just one of those simple like 6-petal or 6-eyelet flower things. It's nothing crazy. But yeah, so I just inserted that in the pattern instead of the, you know, kind of line stripy pattern that was in it originally. And it's actually working out really well. I only had to do a little bit of math. Basically, you know, I just charted out the lace motif, and then I had to say, you know, okay, well, if there's this many stitches in the pattern, then how many times can the repeat fit in there? And if there's an uneven number of stitches, then, you know, what can I do with those on the edge? And so far, it has worked out well. I'm on the back right now, which is why it's kind of hard to show, because this pattern is knit. You knit the whole bottom, and then you separate for the front side, and then the back side, and then the other front side. So you have essentially 3 pieces that you knit up. And it's all on one needle right now, so it's kind of like twisted up and everything. But yeah, it's not really, you can't really tell what's going on, I guess. That's the other side. That's the back. This is the other front side. Yeah, this is this is not translating well on video. But yeah, I think it's really cute, and it's going well so far, and I'm excited to see how it'll come out. So hopefully by the time I record another episode, this will be done, and I can show what it looks like. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's a nice, you know, the color is like good for winter and spring. Maybe not so much of a fall color, but that's okay. And I also think that because of the little flower motif, it'll also be a good like spring, you know, sweater. But I don't really like, I don't wear sweaters based off the season. You know, like, I don't think this is much of a fall color, but I'm going to be wearing it in the fall because I like it. But I do, you know, I do like a pastel sweater for the spring, and then like a, you know, a white sweater for the winter or something like that. But either way, I think it's appropriate for multiple seasons is what I'm trying to say. So, yep, hopefully I will have it done soon enough while I'm unemployed, and I can get it done quickly. So anyways, that's going to sit there now. I'm just going to have a huge stack of sweaters over here with my bunny. Anyways, now we're going to get into plans that I have for knitting for the rest of the year. Who knows if I'm actually going to accomplish them or not. So we'll start with this. Let's see. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 balls of Drops Melody. Oops, I just messed that one up. I have 5 balls of Drops Melody left over from knitting the Honey Cardigan by Kutafukika earlier this year, which one of the comments on Ravelry even said, they were like, is the yardage correct for the sweater? Because like seems like I have way more yarn than like, what this sweater is going to use. And I even thought that too. I think I ordered 10 balls of this. So I have half of what I bought left over. So yeah, I don't know if the yardage for like that pattern is correct in her book. It's a cute sweater. It's a good pattern. Like there was nothing wrong with it except for I think the yardage is a little bit off. But yeah, so I have 5 balls of this, and I was thinking of knitting the Lily cardigan from Jamie Creates, and it's in her book. What is it? 10 Fast and Fabulous Knits or whatever. Oh, 18. I thought it was 10. Anyways, it's in here. It's actually on the back cover. Let's see. Right. Oop, my camera's not going to focus. I'll just put a picture of it on screen. So I was thinking of knitting that because it's calls for like a fluffy mohair type of yarn, which this is alpaca, but it should work. And I think it's knit on 6.5 millimeter needles. So my dog's barking in the background. Anyways, I was thinking of knitting that with this yarn. I think I have enough for the yardage and everything, especially since it's like at quite a, bigger gauge. I should have enough, but I don't want 2 cardigans in the same yellow color. I like my honey cardigan in this color. I don't want a second cardigan in this color. So since it's a yellow yarn, I was thinking about over dyeing it. So it could either be green or it could be orange. You might be able to get away with dyeing this like a red or something like that, because it's not like a super intense yellow. It's pretty pastel. But basically, the yellow is always going to be in there, and if you over dye it, like if you wanted it to be purple, it wouldn't turn out purple, it'd turn out brown. So, or at least I believe so. So I think I'm going to dye this once it's knit up into an actual cardigan. I think I will over dye the whole cardigan into like a brat green sort of green. Because I do like that shade of green. I don't have nothing in my wardrobe is that color, but I do think it would look cute on me. So, also, like brat summer, I have to have something to memorialize that. But anyways, I think that'll work out. I'm kind of scared to over dye anything knit in this yarn, because even when I blocked my honey cardigan made in this yarn, I pressed it out with a towel, which I shouldn't have done, because it went from being a very fluffy fabric to being like all of the fibers kind of got pressed together. It's not matted and it's not, felted. It didn't like shrink or anything, but the fibers are definitely like, kind of flattened out now. And I know that if I dye it, with the heat and everything from that process, I would be scared to like actually felt it and ruin the project, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. There's videos on YouTube of like people over dyeing their projects too, so it shouldn't be too bad. But I guess just with how fluffy this yarn is, it kind of makes me scared to do that. But anyways, that's my plan for this. There are a few other like mohair cardigans I've seen online too, that I was thinking about making this, but I have that book, so I need to I need to utilize it. Okay, other plan, kind of. I really don't have any plan for this, actually. I think I have 5 balls of this, but I only have 4 right here. The other one is somewhere else. This is Long Yarns Alpaca Superlight, which, by the way, not to be that person, but I keep hearing people pronounce this. Not that I'm the perfect pronouncer either, but I keep hearing people pronounce this as Lang Yarns. It's Lang Yarns. It's a German company. It's Lang, which is actually funny because Lang means long, like long, in English. But I always thought that was just like a, brand thing. Like they're like, oh, it's a long yarn. Actually, the founder's last name was Lang. Isn't that funny? Anyways, so that was an ugly laugh. This is 25 grams and what's the yardage on it? 199 meters. So I have 5 of these, so I have like 1,000-ish meters of this. And I bought it because it was on sale, and it's a pretty color. It's actually showing up a bit more neon in the camera. I think it's really not that bright, but it is like a coral kind of color. I don't know what to do with it. I think it was like $5 a ball, which is why I bought it online. I got it from Wool and Company. So there are some patterns that I've seen online on Ravelry that I think would be able to use this and would look cute. There's a few different, I'll just put them on screen. There's a few different like mohair cardigans that I've seen. There's also this one sweater that I've been eyeing for a while that uses mohair, and it has like stripes throughout it, which I think is really cute. I haven't seen a pattern like that with like, I've seen stripy cardigans and pullovers and stuff, but not made with, like a mohair, especially on like a bigger gauge. So I don't know what to do with this. If you have a suggestion, once again, I have 5 of these, I believe. If you have a suggestion for what I could make with 1,000 meters of this yarn, let me know. Otherwise, maybe I could hold it double or triple and knit like mittens or, like a hood or something like that. But then I would have yarn left over, and I hate having yarn left over. So I'm not sure what to do with this. That's not really a plan, but it's something. I have the yarn for it. Anyways, last plan that I have for now, because it's not, the end of what I want to make, but I do think that reasonably this is what I can probably fit into the rest of the year. I'm going to make the porcelain sweater by Lena Holmes. Samso, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Like I just said, I'm not the best pronouncer. But anyways, this is just 1 ball of each yarn for the porcelain sweater. All of it else is stored away right now. But I have, let's see, Drops Flora in this white color, and then in this navy color. And then I have the Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk in, oh, they don't have the names on the balls. But anyways, this is like off-white, this one. And then this is kind of like a cobalt blue. So I saw someone on Ravelry that knit the porcelain sweater in exactly these yarns. And I was looking for, basically I like the look of kind of like the off-white with the porcelain sweater. But I also wanted the blue to be dark, but also like stand out at the same time. So I found this one project on Ravelry that was exactly that. It had like an off-white, and then the blue was a dark blue, but it also had, like a bright cobalt kind of blue to it. So I think this will be perfect. I've never done a colorwork sweater before, so I think that this is kind of, what's the word? Adventurous for me, because I've done like colorwork. There's a bunch of hair stuck to it. I've done colorwork socks, and I've done a colorwork hat, and I've done, let's see, I can't think of anything else that I've knit that's colorwork, but I've never done a colorwork sweater. I've done like stripes on a sweater, but that's not the same because you're just knitting with one color at a time. So yeah, maybe this is a bit too advanced for me. I think I can do it. I know that like I've been knitting for years, and I am pretty good with like tension and everything like that. I am kind of scared though, because it's going to be 4 balls of yarn at the same time that I'm going to have to hold, because these are going to be held together. These are going to be held together. And then you're knitting, colorwork sections. So it's going to be a lot of yarn to manage, but I think it'll be worth it. It's such a beautiful sweater. I want that to be like my Christmas sweater this year. And then I will not take it off until April of next year, if it looks good on me. So I am excited for that. I think that's such like a good pattern. especially like with it being called the porcelain sweater, you have to make it in white and blue. Just kidding, you don't have to. I've actually seen there's one project that's like light green and dark green. I think that one's really pretty. And then there was also one that went kind of viral on Instagram where it's like white and pink and red and orange, I think that was used. So it took me a while to kind of land on like what colors I wanted to use for the porcelain sweater because, you know, those were inspiring. But in the end, I was just like, no, it's called the porcelain sweater. You have to do white and blue. That is the rule. But anyways, hopefully that goes well. I'm kind of nervous for that. I also don't know which one of these plans I want to cast on after my my green cardigan that I'm making, because I'm excited for this. Like, I want to get this done as soon as possible, especially so that it can be, you know, ready for winter. But I've also had the Drops Melody laying around for so long that I just kind of want to get it done and out of the way. And this is knit at such a good, or a big gauge for the Lily cardigan that it would be a quick knit compared to this. This would take a long time. So I could just like bust this out, get it out of the way, and then do this one, the porcelain sweater. I'm not sure. I don't know what I want to do. So hopefully I will figure it out soon after I finish this cardigan. But yeah, I think that that's it for now. Those are my plans for the rest of the year. There's so many other patterns that I want to make for the fall and winter. I'm going to have to make a video of like, you know, one of those 20 patterns that you can make for fall. I do like those videos. Those are really good videos. I want to make one of all the patterns that I like, because there's a lot of patterns that I have been looking at and eyeing that I don't see many other people talking about. So I think it would be cool to, like, you know, put those out in the world. Not that no one's talking about them, but I think that, you know, it would be cool to talk about what I want to make. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do schedule wise for videos. I think I'm just going to kind of make them as I want to. I'm not really worried about like algorithm wise, like how well my channel does. I'm just kind of, I do want like people to watch this. I'm not going to lie. It would be cool for like people to, you know, watch my channel and maybe make like a little community on here. And obviously, like, if I ever had AdSense, that would be awesome. But anyways, I think I have some other video ideas that I'll make, but I'm just not exactly sure when, especially as I'm, like, still getting things figured out after moving and everything. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I always say saying that at the end, it's so dorky. Or subscribe, whatever you want to do, is cool with me. Tell me what you're working on. I know that's like another dorky thing that people say, but seriously, like, I am curious to hear what people are like making, especially with more popular patterns like the porcelain sweater. I've already seen like 5 different videos of people who are like, oh yeah, I'm making this for the winter, so that we can all be like the porcelain sweater group. But anyways, thank you for watching.